Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This training series for OAF will be very informal, inshallah, because there are no trainees in front of me like corporate trainings I do. So it's very informal and more of like a demo session. So there can be lots of informal talks too, and can be some performance up downs too. So let's just start. This is the very first session about setting up JDeveloper for OAF development work. We will be using these steps for setting up. These are the red steps. As we have completed one step, we'll simply mark it as green. As we complete two, we'll mark this two green. This will be our agenda. You can just have a look that these are the steps. Starting with the very first question about setting up JDeveloper is which JDeveloper version we have to use for our development work. Answer to this question depends on which is the latest ATG page you are using in your Oracle apps. Corresponding to that ATG page, there is a list which tells that for this ATG page use this JDeveloper version. So actually there is a metalink node. Let me just look at there. Yep, it is there. And this is the metalink node. Due to privacy issues, I cannot show you metalink information right over here. But just open this metalink node. There will be a table with one column with the ATG page and corresponding column as JDeveloper version. From there, just download the corresponding JDeveloper, and it will be a zip file. So extract it to your system. So starting with, I have extracted to my C directory with the name of JDeveloper 10G. Here it is. And while extracting, please keep in mind that do not provide any spaces in this path. There should be no path, no spaces. So we have it on our system, and we can now proceed to our actual setup. The very first step in setup is to configure an environment variable called JDev Many of you may be aware that many softwares require environment variables to locate particular file corresponding to that path. They usually call that software's home path. So JDeveloper also has a user home, which you call JDev user home, and I tell you its location should be set to this path, JDev home and JDev. This is a JDeveloper user's home location. So let's just set this environment variable. Oh, we're going there. Go to environment variable, click new, and its name should be JDev user home, and its value, as I mentioned, should be this one. Just say okay, okay, and okay, and we are done with the first step. Very easy. We have set up JDev user home environment variable. Mark it green. The next step will be obtain a database connection file. In short, this file is called dbc file. Here again, you can ask your DBA to provide you this file, or if you have, mostly you will be having this. If you have middle tier access, then you can yourself get this file. I tell you its location. Its location is that is fnd secure, $fnd secure. This is the path where you will file this dbc file. Open your FTP program. I have already opened it, and this is my dbc file. In your case, your instance will be having a different name for dbc file. In my case, it is named as viz.dbc. So just bring this file to your local system. But the point is, where in my local system? Again, in your local system, you have to bring this dbc file in this path, JDev user home, then dbc file secure. This is the location where you have to bring it. So I have this directory already opened, and simply bringing this file to my local system. Bring it in text mode. It's a text file. We have done it. Let's mark it as green too. Done it. Just a curious information what this file may be containing. It's a very simple file containing information about how to connect to database using JDBC. All the parameters are there, nothing else. In fact, in sometimes cases, you will be yourself editing this file, so that much simplicity. But that's a later case. We need not to care for the timing. So we have done up to this step about creating it. The very next step is create a desktop shortcut to JDeveloper. I mean to say by this is, how about launching JDeveloper right from here? Why to go to JDeveloper directory and JDev bin, all those things. So go to JDev home or upper JDev bin. Then I tell you this part, JDev bin. This is the location for JDeveloper's executable file. There are two, JDev.exe and JDev.w.exe. JDeveloper.exe may be opening a command prompt window plus JDeveloper window, so two windows. You need not to that use you have to use this one, which will open just JDeveloper window. You can experience by yourself by opening this file and you'll do it. So for the timing, we'll simply create its shortcut, send to desktop, and we have it over here. So that step also done, create a desktop shortcut. We have created that thing. The next step is to assign toolbox responsibilities. These responsibilities will be used by JDeveloper to connect to the Oracle apps instance. So these responsibilities should be in your username of Oracle apps. So like my username is IWD, and these are the two responsibilities: OAF Framework Toolbox Tutorial and OAF Framework Toolbox Tutorial Labs. These responsibilities I have it just for training purpose. So for the timing, you can also do the same thing. Add these two responsibilities to your username, and that is the step we were looking for. Next step will be we will have to launch the JDeveloper itself. So let's say Bismillah. Meanwhile, it's getting loaded. It will take lots of memory probably. So let it just take. Actually, my apps instance is also running in the same laptop, so it may be very slow. At least it's not that much fast. Just for this demo purpose, I had to use just in laptop. Anyways, we have it opened here. We have our JDeveloper. So how about just marking it partially green? Okay, that's cool. Step one. Next step is and configure the database connection. That means it's saying us to create a database connection. Let's do that. Why not? Go to connections in the database. I have to delete it. I deleted it just for demo purpose. And let's go for new database connection. Next, I'll name it as apps, and these are your database credentials. Okay. Hmm. apps, and my system name is iwidi.iwidi. Its port is 24, SID is Wiz, and next and test if the connection is working. Successful. Say just next and finish. So that marks our database connection also ready. The last step will be to set up apps front-end user. For that, Oracle has supplied a pre-built collection of Java projects. One of them we'll be using for setting our JDeveloper. That's correct project, and we'll be just testing our settings on that. So just open that workspace or project. Find for JWS files. In my projects, you will find toolbox.jws. This is the Oracle supplied workspace with 4 projects. These are the 4 projects. We will be setting our settings on this existing project, and we'll be testing if this project is running fine or not. So in the setting process, what we will need is right click project properties, and then in Oracle applications you need to provide a database connection, even though it is not necessary because it is just for design time. So we'll not provide in database connection over here. In run connections, we should choose at least 2. iDiagnostic. What iDiagnostic does is just shows this about this page link and developer mode error. That shows that if you are missing any standards of Oracle applications, just choose these 2 options for the timing. And in runtime connection, this will ask you information about how it can log in to front end. So all the front end connectivity information you have to provide over here. first the dbc file, we have it viz.dbc. The front end username, I have it for me 123, okay, whatever. Then it's a application short name and responsibility key. This is the combo that tells using which responsibility you want to log in. So if you remember, we selected these two responsibilities. Let's say I want to log in with this responsibility in the OAF framework toolbox tutorial. Over here you have to provide its short key and responsibility key for this responsibility and the application short name to which it belongs. So I may be just skipping how you can locate. I assume that at least you can find it by yourself, that what is the responsibility key for that responsibility and to which application it belongs. I have already collected these things. That responsibilities application for me is AK, and its short name framework tutorial responsibility is this one. I have it already. In your case probably it may be same. So let's just say okay, and that marks that we have done this also. Okay, cool. Now we have to simply rebuild and test this existing project that it is connecting to the apps instance correctly and it is running fine. So to do that, simply rebuild it and just like this, run this file test wk tutorial.jsp run. This running will starts JDeveloper's inbuilt web server, that is OC for the server. So just keep on looking on the log window. First it has compiled, then it is saying running embedded OC for the server. So this server will compile class file and all those stuffs of this project tutorial, and it will automatically launch Internet Explorer window, just launched, and we'll try to execute that project. Open, but this is not a success point. It is just a JSP file and we cannot guarantee that it is successful setup. What we have to do, we have to check one application at least. So let's just check hello world. If that starts correctly, that is our ultimate point, and an additional point we can check this hello world also. So if that runs correctly, that means our setup is successful. So let's just wait. Initially it will take a bit of time, so I'm just waiting if it gets success. That's cool. It's appearing that indicates that our setup is correct. Setup means the details which we are using are correct. So let's just tell if it is working. That's just pretty cool if it's working. So alhamdulillah, that completes our test the setup also. So just to wrap up on overview, what we have done is we have downloaded JDeveloper software from the metalink node information, and then we set up this you know environment home variable. Then we got the dbc file from the server, the middle usually, and then created shortcut for desktop. We needed to responsibility and launched and provided this crucial information in JDeveloper's runtime connection, and then tested it in our JDeveloper. Hope that tells at least a bit of information how we can set up this JDeveloper information. Inshallah, in next session we will be developing this hello world page by itself. So that will include lots of theories too. So till then, let's finish it.